Alright, so this is going to be a real short, sweet lesson. This is for you, those of you who want to play this just beautiful old folk tune. In case you don't know, this song was originally called Greensleeves. It was written in, actually they know that it was written in September of 1580. At least that's what most of the historians have come to believe. And it was called A New Northern Ditty of Ye Lady Greensleeves. In any event, by some guy named Richard Jones. In any event, there was a guy that decided to turn it into a song about the birth of Christ named Chatterton Dix in 1865, and that's why we sing this song at Christmas. It's got some lyrics to it, but this is just going to be a quick guitar run through, and basically a lot of these old folk tunes and a lot of this sort of Renaissance and Baroque guitar stuff that you're going to see, there's usually like a 2-note followed by a 1-note followed by a 2-note kind of thing. So there's various patterns, but just so that you're prepared for that, if you're not somebody who plays a lot of these kind of songs, this is going to be a song where you're going to be using your right hand. You're going to be picking out 1 or 2 strings at a time, and you're typically, like I said, you're going to be alternating 2 strings at a time versus just 1 note and then 2 strings or more at times. And so this is my version, and there's 1,000,001 versions of this song. James Taylor did a really pretty version of it. It's purely instrumental, and I like that version, and I used to play that one. But this is just a simple version I thought I would throw on the on my YouTube channel, just so that for those of you who'd like to play this at Christmas while people are unwrapping the presents. It's still mid-November. I'm trying to get these out for you guys so you can learn them real quick before the family gatherings around and after Thanksgiving and through to Christmas and afterward. So I don't think any chord diagrams are really going to be helpful for this song, but it will help you to understand that this song is just built off of the G major scale, and that it will help you to know where your G major scale is here. Even though there are a couple notes that are outside the scale, you like your G scale, do, ti, la. All right, and as I said, and then these the old players and some of the versions of this song, you can just hear them go. So you see that you can really pluck out the song right there in your just simple G major scale. So anyway, with that in mind, that's going to help you. And then, the chords that are constructed that you're actually going to see pieces of are just chords that you'd see that flow if you know your basic chord theory in the key of G major. So like G, then you go up to A minor, okay, and then you're also going to have your C and your D, and so on and so forth. All right, so let's talk about part 1. Now, one of the good things to know about this song is that there's an A part, and once you've learned the A part, you're good to go, because the B part is basically exactly the same as the A part, but instead of starting with this part 1 that starts with an A minor, you're going to start with a C. So this lesson is really not going to be as hard as you think. So the first phrase is going to be, I'm just going to walk you through that one. It's going to go, okay? And so what is that? So that's just your A minor, and you're going to do a pickup on the G string. So you're going to do your single note, and then your 2 notes. Just like I was saying, so you're going to go. And then you're going to do 2 notes here. And again, this is my version, and if you really listen to some versions of the original Greensleeves, it's just single notes, the whole thing. But in any event, this is just my arrangement, and you can take what you want and alter the rest. So anyway, I'm going to do single here, pick up on the G, then an A, from the A minor, I'm doing the A note with my thumb, and the C down here, which is the minor third. And so I'm going to hit those 2 notes. So again, pick up, then the G over B with just the 2 notes, this note and that note, and those are the only 2 things I'm picking. So, and then I'm finishing off with the C over the high E, open. So, got it? All right, so that's part 1. So now the second phrase, you've gone the second phrase is going to be, but you're going to throw in a harmony on that note. So you're going to go, and that's all you're doing here is, and then these notes are going to get harmonized. So you're going to come to the D with this pinky, but you're going to harmonize that with the G up here. So just these two strings. And then you're going to go down and take this pinky off, open with the F. And then you're going to end on this note, which you're going to harmonize with the open G. Alright? Now there is an extra G note in there I'm going to show you. So if you really want to sound good, you're going to add that note in there. So anyway, the phrase is, alright? And so simple, just a simple note, 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 and then harmonized. These two notes, same two strings, and then these two strings, your A string and your G string with the open G, and this E and this B. So B and open G. Now you're going to throw in this extra G. So let me just show you real quickly how you do that. So you're going to go. Alright, so one more time. So you're going two notes and then throw in an extra open G. Then you hit the open B and the F, and then you land on this B over an open G. Alright, so one more time. Got it? And so when you play it fast, you're barely going to hear that G. But it really has, it adds a lot if you can hit that. Okay? So that's phrase 2. So phrase 1, phrase 2. Got it? Very good. So phrase 3. So phrase 3 is just going to start with these two open notes, two notes, the A and the open B. So, and then you're going to land on these two strings together. All right. So I typically use my index on the first, on the A note, and then hit the B, open B with my middle finger. All right. So, and then I'm going to land here and pluck these two together. I'm going to pluck the D string out here on the F, right? And then I'm going to hit the C on the B string. All right? All right, and I'm going to call that phrase 3. And phrase 4, I'm going to say is this one. So you've gone phrase 3, and then you go 4 is starts with just simply open, just an A note alone, and then harmonized with this F. So from 3, then you're starting with, and then this part is sort of one of my favorites. I prefer to hammer this on, but you can go, okay, and then so that might be a little tricky, but it's really probably one of the prettiest parts. So you're going to go, so you're taking this and you're hammering it or you're adding it, and then you're quickly jumping up to this E, that's an E note right there, and you're harmonizing that with the open B. Then you're hitting the G note again, and then you're not moving anything with your left hand, and you're plucking the open E and your E note on the D string for that nice solid, okay? So you're going phrase 3, then 4, I'm calling it. Then you're doing your little, All right, and believe it or not, you've gotten through the toughest part of the song, because now you're going to go back and go again, and then we're going to go and do this alteration. So basically, you're doing that same thing that you just did on the first part, the same parts. And then again. And then this is where you're going to alter it, and you're going to be finished with part A. So this part you can sort of think of as sort of your finale of your A part. So it's mostly just going to be notes, and then you're going to end with this little. So the notes are. And you can just end with. Just hit those same two notes twice. So the notes are an A with the index, and I'm using my index and I'm alternating with my middle finger, so I'm just going. So just an A note on the G string, open B, then I'm pulling off from a C note on the B string and coming back to that A. And then with this index finger I'm coming down to this flat, A flat, sort of out of the scale. And I'm going, I'm hitting that note right here, right, this F sharp or G flat with my thumb, and then back to that note. And then I'm coming back to this, and I'm going to harmonize that with the open A. And again, you can just harmonize that, just those two notes, or you can go, or you can hit the whole chord. Alright, so let's just go over the notes one more time. So there's a little riff sort of thing, and you're going so A, B, and then C pulled off to B, and back to the A. And then back one, and I'm going index to thumb, and then back to that note, and then you can come down here like this. You might want to reposition back to your A there so that you're ready. All right, but if you're going into the B part, then you're going to start with a C. So we'll talk about that next. So one last time on this little finale. So just to really quickly recap, so your A part starts with this A minor, and it goes, and it does that twice. The first time it does it, you're going to do the little thing where you're going to go into. The second time you do the. That's where you're going to go. Got it? All right. So that's it. You've done the first part. You've done the A part. And the good news is that the B part has a C in it to start, but for the most part it's going to be very similar to your A part. And so you've pretty much learned the whole song now. So let's talk about the B part. Alright, so before I tell you about the B part, which starts with a C, or a C with this added high G, most of these old standards, these old jigs from the late 1500s and 17th century, they would do the A part twice, and then they would do the B part once, then they go back and do the A part again for a third time. And so when I was saying at the end of that other thing where you're going, you might be going back into the A part again, or you might come out of the A part and go into the B part. All right, and so the B part starts on a C, but for the most part, you're going to see this is you've really tackled most of the song. And so again, I take some liberties here with the B part. I love the drama, sort of the dramatic effect of that C coming in, and I like to accent this high G in it. All right, so I go, and so those notes are true to my version. I think they're true to the song, but anyway, that's what I like to do. So I pluck out this C note and the high G with these two fingers. And I use this finger, my ring finger, to pull that because I'm going to take this and go. Now I play a lot of James Taylor songs and things like that, and do a lot of strange Paul Simon finger picking songs. So, and even some some songs by Lindsey Buckingham. So I'm used to using those three fingers, but if you're not comfortable doing that, you don't have to do that. You could just simply pull use these two fingers. And you're just going to go right back in and do the exact same thing after that C. So that's it. Then you're going right back into that thing that we did in part A. Right? And so, again, you could just go, or you could go, or you could go, but I like to use this ring finger. I go, okay? And you can do any pattern you want, but I'm just going to suggest that you do. So again, the easiest way to do this is just make the C with the high G added and just do this twice. And then do the same thing you did in the part A twice. Alright? Again, you already learned most of the song. You're just repeating it, and the B part just starts with the C with the high G. And again, you can start with just simply. And then if you want to add the extra notes, I do this. And I do it with the, or you could just do it with the two fingers. And that's it. That's the whole song. All right? So you've done it. That's it. Amazing, right? And so have a lot of fun with that. And again, after you do the B part, typically you're going to go back to the A part, and then you're going to go back to the B part after one or two more times of that. All right? So anyway, have fun with it. Enjoy. Merry Christmas. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like. Please put some kind of comments and share. That it really helps a lot. Maybe that'll push me in the algorithm and allow me to continue to make these videos. I enjoy doing it for you. I hope you're learning something. Please let me know if you are. And let me know if you aren't and what I can do better. Merry Christmas.